All right. So we are almost ready to go live with the TWiP PRO photo critique. Troy Miller, are you there?
I am here.
Cool. So I'm gonna go live. We'll start the show in just a second here. All systems look green on this side. We're ready to go. You know what? This is the first TWiP PRO photo critique that I've streamed live. Not only am I streaming it live, but I'm streaming it live to YouTube, to Facebook, to twitch.tv, because we're now on twitch.tv. And I'm recording it. So
we're syndicated. That's what's happening.
It's syndicated. Is that what the word is? Yeah, it is now syndicated out to the world. So yeah, this is going to be exciting. I did a test yesterday. I think it was yesterday, either yesterday or the day before, probably yesterday. And I streamed out for 5 minutes just the TWiP logo, just to make sure all systems were working and people were watching it, and it was starting to get views. I was like, man, this is cool. It's working. It's working.
Oh yeah, somebody made a comment in the TWiP PRO community. It was like 1:53 a.m. and they're like, "Are we missing something?"
Yeah, I'm like, I thought on a Sunday night at 1 a.m. no one would be online, but
oh yeah, they're watching.
People are online at 1 a.m. Sunday night. All right, man. Are you ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is going to be number 58. Here we go for the TWiP PRO photo critique. Content from the TWiP PRO. Oh, by the way, if people are watching this and you're not familiar with TWiP PRO is, well, This Week in Photo is TWiP. That's our website, thisweekinphoto.com. If you're not familiar with TWiP PRO, that's our private community, which you can join if you like. It is at twippro.com, and you can find out all about it there. But let's start the show. And the submissions that we're reviewing are going to be inside of TWiP PRO, so you'll get a look at what the community looks like from the inside out right now in this show. Here we go. This is TWiP. All right, folks, I'm back again. This is my second stream in one day, because that's how I roll. throw baby into the pool style of learning. So I'm doggy paddling right now with this multicast live streaming stuff. It seems to be working. So knock on wood or something. But this is TWiP PRO photo critique number 58. And this, if you're not familiar with what our critiques are, each week our members in the TWiP PRO community submit their photos lately we've been doing topics, so along a particular theme or topic, and what we do, Troy Miller and I, who's waiting in the wings for me to bring him on screen, what we do is we sit down like this and review those images and pick a winner, and sort of give hopefully substantive feedback on the images along the way. So, as I mentioned, I'm here with my partner in crime for these critiques, and that's Mr. Troy Miller. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm excited. This is great. We're breaking new ground.
We are breaking new ground, and I got to say, I'm proud of you, man. I'm very proud of you. You are wearing TWiP colors, the black and the red. That is TWiP colors right there.
This was very serendipitous. I thought when I put this shirt on, I go, "Oh, Frederick's going to like that because it's TWiP colors."
But I
didn't know we were going live.
I love TWiP colors, man. I don't know what it is about black and red. Maybe I like cinnamon. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
It's
good. It's good.
No, this is good. No, this is going to be a good show. I'm excited to do this, and I'm also excited to be streaming this. So, the way that this is supposed to work. And well, as you know how I do, I'm iterative about these things, right?
Right.
So the way this is supposed to work is we're live streaming out, like I said, to multiple platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.tv. And the service I'm using to do this, little inside baseball, is a service called Restream.io, and they syndicate the stream out. But they also are one of the features of that service is that they aggregate the comments from those services back into one window, so I'm not popping around. I did a stream earlier today with Chris Smith from out of Chicago, and that wasn't working exactly as planned. So, in the future, if it doesn't work this time, in the future, we'll be taking comments, as we do these live streams, which I think will add value to the critique sessions as we do them. So,
that'd be cool.
If we don't respond to you, valued watcher / listener, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It is because technical stuff is getting in the way.
Yeah, this is the beta run.
This is kind of the beta run. Yeah, this is the beta run. So the last topic, the ones that we're going to review, the show theme or the critique theme was abstract, right? Which is, and people love that. You saw the comments in there. People love abstract. You put a photo in there.
Of course, yeah, it's my favorite.
You cannot pick that as the winner. I'm just saying, you can't. You can't pick it. You can't pick it as the winner.
I know. I'm not in there for consideration. I'm just in there to inspire, hopefully.
There you go. And just to foreshadow next week, for those that are wondering what the theme for next week's critique is, it is sports. So if you're a sports fan or not, sports can be interpreted broadly, right?
Right.
So it doesn't have to just be someone running and catching a football or dunking or playing tennis or something like that. Sports can be interpreted as many, many, many things. So sports is the topic for next week. I have a feeling one of our members, Mike Doran, is going to submit something in motorsports. Mike, you know what I'm talking about. He's going to submit a motorsports photo. But that's totally fine. You can do that. I
predict Tim Ingle is going to put in something that has to do with football.
Football, yes, because Tim has created gladiator children that play football. So, yeah, we will see that. Well, cool, man. I think it's time to dive in. You ready to dive into the critique?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So we are inside of TWiP PRO right now. Here's the rear. Oh, Tim Ingle's in the chat right now already. Look at that. Hey, Tim Ingle. Nice. Hey, I'm going to say hey to him. There we go. Hey, Tim Ingle. All right, so let's go back into here. We're in the photo critique. So the first one up is from Mike Doran. Here we go. So let's take a look at this one. So Mike Doran calls this one Sunset on the Coast. Let's bring that up. All right, first of all, abstract, right? Remember, we got to keep the word abstract as we go through these. Before, we were doing these critique sessions, and we didn't have a theme, so people could just submit whatever they wanted. Now they have to submit along a particular theme. So this could be abstract. What do you think? Is it abstract? Is it not abstract?
I don't think it's abstract. I know that it's a road and a fence line in the ocean, and I can see that. So. Not necessarily abstract. I was just looking up the Wikipedia definition. So it's a means of depicting a visual image that does not have an immediate association with the object or world. So to be technical, this would not be abstract.
I'm going to say I even know what world this is from. I'm guessing it's Earth. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I'm just guessing. But yeah,
But as a non-abstract, I mean, I love the toning, I love the composition, the leading lines. It's a great image. It's really nice. Except for the two dust spots, we can always work those out. Mm-hmm. But I like the image for landscape, I think.
Yeah, for landscape, definitely. All right, yeah, I agree with what you said there. How many do we have to go through? I think it's like 20-ish, right?
Yeah, we're right at 20.
20 images, cool. Well, thank you, Mike Doran, for that. And don't be too hard on the rest of the members, Mike Doran, in the sports critique, okay? You have unfair advantage and superpowers. Speaking of unfair advantage and superpowers, Tim Ingle's up next. Abstract fun. He's in the house here. All right. Somehow I knew Tim was going to do something with people in it. Look at that.
Yeah, that is really great. Because being able to see part of the person in there and the lights, and it's just neat. Like I kind of get a sense of what it is, but it's broken. I'm not really sure. Mm-hmm. So that's a great abstract.
It's definitely art, man. Yeah, like we tend to say on this recording or this show, would I frame it? Can you frame it? And this looks like it could be in a gallery. Like I remember visiting Tim when he did a gallery show in Sacramento a while back, and I could see this blown up as big as one of those prints on the wall.
Yeah, and having the face in there is, I don't want to say it's eerie, but it definitely has a different draw when you have a person or recognizable people parts in there. So
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I like it. I want to know what he shot through. Was that like through his water glass, or
Or got a lens baby, maybe not. I don't know.
No, that's got like a mirror going on in there. Knowing Tim, it was some obscure piece of equipment he picked up at like
Home
Costco
Depot,
or
Home Depot, Salvation Army, abandoned construction site, something like that.
Yeah,
Tim is the MacGyver of photography.
Yeah, very nice.
Very cool. Tim Engel, thank you very much for that. Abstract fun. All right, moving down. Kai Groddart, it's up next. Bird's Eye View. Let's bring that up. Look at that.
I love that title. That is so good.
Yeah, because this, obviously this looks like bark on a tree, right? So it was probably taken horizontally. But since he titled it Bird's Eye View, now I'm looking at it as if I'm looking down on a surface of a planet or something, because it looks like it could be from that angle as well.
Oh, how funny. I didn't see it that way.
Yeah, this could be like just a satellite shot from the surface of some alien world.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. No, I was thinking, this is what birds see all the time when they land on the side of the tree, and they're looking at, that's what they get to see,
Yeah. Which is the whole point of abstract, because you have to, it makes your mind interpret it. I see, and that's how our minds work. See, your mind is very like normal, and mine sees an alien landscape looking down on it with creatures and Captain Kirk about to beam down onto one of those surfaces.
No, this is great, and I love the fact that the composition is working really well here. I mean, there's it's been dodged. I'm thinking around the edges, so the center is a little bit brighter, that draws our eye in, and we'll call it that little island in the middle really stands out. So even in an abstract, leading lines, composition, bright spots, dark spots, draws our eye through the scene. So, and now I see this like you see it. I like that from a vertical perspective. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I dig it. I like this one a lot. Very nice work, Kai.
You like this one a lot. Okay, so that's going to be.
I know. I'm making notes. I
haven't looked at these yet either. These are all surprises to me.
Good. That's the best way, I think, to critique these in some ways, is to kind of go into them fresh. Next one is from member Jim Peters, The Green Planet. Oh, look at that. See? Now they're just pandering to my love for science fiction right now.
Yeah.
See, this is the planet. This is a zoom out from Kai's planet, right? So this is on final approach to establishing orbit around, SETI Alpha 4.
Right. What would have been really cool is to throw some stars in the background.
Oh yeah.
That would have really put this one over the top for me.
I'm wondering what this is, though. In reality, what is this? It's abstract, 100%. But what is it? It could be an eyeball. It could be, what is it? I don't know.
It looks like bubbles, like it was shot underwater, maybe, looking up, through some bubbles or something, or through ice. But I'm going with bubbles because the outside edge looks like it. Mm-hmm. Or, you know what this looks like? This looks like a piece of ice. That's lit from underneath, and you're photographing it from the top.
Or it could just be a flat surface that he ran the Photoshop Spherize filter on, right?
Or all of the above.
Or all the above. And success, because we're thinking about how he did this, which makes it 100% abstract, right?
Yeah. You notice that we don't have any nitpicks.
You can't nitpick. You can't nitpick abstract. It's hard.
No,
right?
It's very difficult to nitpick abstract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this one. This is cool.
I dig it. Yeah, that would look cool big, too. That's one of those would pass the big print test.
Right, for sure. All right, Jim Peters, rocking it. Thank you, sir. Freddie Sedano's up next. Radioactive, both an accidental overexposure and glitch all rolled into one. All right. Look at that.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although I know what this is, so... I mean, it is. I think this fits in abstract, so I'm not going to say it's not abstract. But according to your Wikipedia definition, the definition of abstract is it's not rooted in reality. This is real. I know this is petals in a flower, right? So it's real. But the perspective Freddie chose and all that makes it, and the processing of this image make it 100% abstract.
Right. Well, that could be like the maw of an alien creature that's going to open up and.
See, now you're into science fiction thinking.
No, I'm always in science fiction.
Exactly.
Science fiction's much easier than real world, directives.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yeah, this is what was that creature in Star Wars where they were going to throw Luke Skywalker into and have him digested over 1,000 years?
Oh, geez, I have no idea.
Oh man, come on! You see, you got to take a point away from your nerd.
It's Star
card.
Wars. I'm not fluent in Star Wars.
How can you not be? All right. Anyway. All right, TWiP Pro members, please comment under this photo and educate Troy Miller as to the creature's name that in Star Wars, the original first Star Wars, or Episode 3, I guess, or 4, whichever one, where they were on Boba Fett's yacht.
Oh my God!
Princess Leia was Boba Fett's prisoner, and she was in that bikini, and they were escaping, and they were about to knock. Or they were fighting to get away, and they were going to make Luke walk the plank and fall into the giant sand creature, and this was under the sand. Come on.
That was filmed in Glamis, by the way. I know where it was filmed. So
really? No, that doesn't count.
That's all I know.
That's reality.
Watch the chat. Somebody's going to answer you.
Let me see if anybody answering in the chat. Let's see. Tim says that photo was shot through a prism.
Oh, okay. One of those acrylic prisms or something like that. That's cool.
Look at that. Look at that. The chat is proving useful already.
Crowdsourcing information.
Exactly. One of the reasons why we're doing these live now. All right. Freddie Sedano, thank you for that creature. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Freddie.
Hey, Freddie does those cool dioramas, too. So, Freddie, I think you should... I think there's a Star Wars kind of diorama in your future with this. All right. Coming up next is last week's winner, Laura Patton. Is coming back again. See if she can maintain her title. And Laura says, this is a photograph of fireworks. After some trial and error, I finally figured out how to photograph fireworks so they don't look at all like fireworks. Rather, flowers, space aliens, and sea creatures. The concept is easy. Turn the focus ring during the exposure. The hard part is getting the timing right. That took a bit of practice. And she succeeded. That totally looks like a flower. It totally looks like a flower.
No, it looks like a Stargate, but I'll give you the flower. So,
okay, a Stargate to a Flora universe.
Right. Well, I'm watching Expanse. I'm near the end of season 3 of the Expanse, and there's a giant alien Stargate. No, it's not a Stargate, but anyway. So that
series is so good. It's so good.
Wow. But so Laura did this in camera.
Yep.
Is what I'm gathering, and that in and of itself is amazing. That's very cool.
Yep. Because fireworks are just, once you know the technique behind shooting fireworks, it's like she said, it's trial and error, and you're just basically hunting at that point, with a lot of leeway for creativity, obviously, the length of the exposure, composition, et cetera, processing. But to get this in camera, and to know that this wasn't a happy accident, like, oh, there's a firework burst happening, and I bumped my focus ring, Look at what came out. I'm going to say I tried to, she actually tried to do this and succeeded. I bet you there's some other cool ones in the series too. I'd love to see those.
Probably. Yeah. This fits into the category perfectly well. And it's nice. It could be a flower or a Stargate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Or a flower gate. We'll just say something.
There you go.
I'm going to say Stargate to a Flora universe, right? So come on.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Laura, for that. Very nice. All right, moving right along. Armando Brook. He says, Summer Sunset I took from my house last Friday. I edited in Lightroom and Photoshop. The effect was created using the wave filter. The original photo I'm going to put in the comments. Let's see what the original photo looks like.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so there's the original photo. And then from that came this.
That's very cool.
Nice.
Using the wave photo. That is beautiful.
Yeah, that needs a price tag on it. Talk about printed big, right? Print that sucker big and put a $50,000 price tag on it.
Yeah, we need to put that on pack. That is crazy cool. I love that. It reminds me of a project that Julian Cost is doing, where she takes like an image and then she does little slices that have the colors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, her Color of Place project. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just colors, and what's neat is the colors and the abstract in this is beautiful. But to Armando, that's the view from his home, right? That's his view, but in a way that we wouldn't know, but we can still enjoy.
Yeah, that's his color of place right there.
That is cool.
Yeah, I dig that. I dig that a lot. That would actually look good as a triptych too, right? You break it up.
Oh yeah, big.
Yeah, big triptych. Yeah, that's like something's, some billionaire would hang over their bed or something, or in the living room over the couch.
Yeah, that is very nice. That is very unique.
Good work. Yeah. So now we know what Sao Paulo, Brazil looks like.
Yeah. You're going to have to play with that, the wave filter.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point of these critiques is to get your juices going, man. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, Howard Yermish is up next. And Howard says, abstract rock textures from Rainbow Vista Trail in Valley of Fire State Park. Look at that. See? Talk about swashes of color. Look at that one. Yeah. So we go from our sort of neon colors on Armando's shot to these earthy, warm, inviting colors on this one.
Yeah, this is wonderful, and I appreciate the attention to detail where you've got this nice diagonal slice through the image that's balanced very well. It's sharp from corner to corner. It would have been really to get one side off or one side sharp and the other side, falling off because of the turn of the camera. Not using enough depth of field in the shot. So, no, this is, man, we got a lot to live up to.
I know. Looking at this one, it just makes me think, like, it makes my brain hunt through this image for any clue as to scale. Right? Because there's just there's nothing in it. This could be gigantic or tiny or even just modest sized. You have no idea how big this thing was that he photographed, which is cool. It leads into and supports the abstract concept.
Absolutely. Yeah, which is another level of the abstract. One, you look at it and you don't really know exactly what it is, but the scale and the size is another level that everybody's going to look at it and kind of interpret their own thing, which is wonderful about abstract and just art in general.
Yeah, it'd be a completely different photo if there was a person in there, right? Like in the upper right, sort of walking to the lower left, Yeah. And I was thinking that in my brain. I'm like, I can imagine a person of any size in this thing, and they would fit.
Right.
So you could Photoshop a person in there if you knew what you're doing, and you could put them almost at any size in this shot, and they would fit.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, this is really wonderful.
Very good. All right, Howard Yermish, thank you for that, man.
Oh, it's gonna get hard. It's getting harder to choose.
I know. I was just thinking that. You gotta choose find your favorite kid. Michael Rhino's up next. Michael Rhino says this photo was taken during a tour of Upper Antelope Canyon in Page, Arizona. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, see. That's abstract. I have yet to go to one of these locations in Arizona or Utah or wherever where they have these sort of, rock formations like this. Have you gone to any places like this before?
No, I have not. I am not a big fan of being underground. So.
Oh, yeah. See, you don't like being underground, in the air, or in the water. You are a surface dweller, my friend.
Yeah.
You're like, this 2 feet on the ground, oxygen, nothing to fall on my head. I'm good.
Yeah.
No.
And maybe this is just my interpretation of how I would see abstract, but I mean, pretty much everybody knows what this is. I mean, we all know it's Antelope Canyon. I know it's in the slot canyons and things like that. So it's not, for me, it's not really playing into the world of abstract as much. Like, it's very abstract in its form, but we know what it is, right? So I love it. It's a fantastic image. I would probably have taken a piece out of this instead of just showing the whole thing, going really, really tight or something. Yeah. I mean, do you agree, or do you think that because we know what it is that it's not abstract?
No, I think I know that's a tough one, right? Because abstract means that it's just you know, I mean, for me, it means it's a play on color and light in sort of an abstract way that's not rooted in anything, like you said in that Wikipedia definition. But in we can't nitpick, like you said, we can't nitpick abstract because
True.
This shot is fine like this, but there's 100 shots in the shot, so you can zoom in and on any part almost of this shot, and you'd have another abstract. Like in the lower left there, if you just zoom in on those horizontal lines and make that the entire shot, that's still abstract and it's still awesome.
Yeah,
you know. So I think
that's
right. So it's kind of the beauty of a shot like this is that you could find a million shots in it, or just sort of look at it from a bird's eye view, and it still works. I think it fits. I mean, just because we know what it is and where it is, not everyone does. So I think something like a flower, or you know, something that's more or like the first shot, which was obviously of a beach or landscape shot. Yeah, that's rooted in reality. This not necessarily. But on the other hand, if he had processed this, like we all know with these, you know, these rocks that have a lot, you know, high iron content turn orange like this, right? So we know what part of the world that comes from and where these rocks probably are, or to find some similar to this. But if for the abstract submission, if he had processed this so that they weren't that color, then I think that would have led more to you thinking, like, even if they were black and white, you know, but that would have led more to your brain sort of trying to scratch itself and figure out, okay, what is this?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, like do like a negative of this,
Mm-hmm.
and then make it orange. You'd be like, well, that looks like Antelope Canyon, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we've really never had to define abstract before, right? Like we all look at something and go, oh, that's abstract. And somebody else might look at that and go, well, no, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah. Well, abstract is one of those words where it's nearly impossible because it's completely subjective, right? As to what it is. So.
Right. Very cool image, though. And I'm glad people take these so I can see what it looks like down there.
Just go down there. You're not going to die. You don't have a fear of being underground. You just have a fear of death, which is natural. It's like people like, I don't have a fear of heights. I just have a fear of falling and what happens at the end of that fall.
Jeez.
Brian Taylor is up next. Brian Taylor says, this was taken with the Mavic 2 Pro of ice sheets by Canna Island Lighthouse in Door County, Wisconsin. Nice. I've been trying to get my Mavic out for days. It's been raining here. I've been trying to get out there with that thing. I can't get out. Look at this.
See, it takes a little bit to soak it in.
I never would have known. And if he didn't tell me that this was a drone shot, I never would have. Just like that other shot, scale, right? You have no idea that these are huge ice sheets taken from who knows how high. They could be little, right? Or it could be something else. So you don't even know if it's ice or not. And look in the. Can you see in sort of the kind of moving from left to right through those ice sheets? There's like a pattern. It looks like a line that's sort of going from left to right or right to left, depending on how you're looking at it. You see that in there? That is killer. That is cool. I love that.
This is amazing. Yeah, and you can see the ice that's above the water, and then there's ice below the water, and then the all the line patterns. I hope you shot a crap load from here.
Yeah, I know. And again, my brain is searching for scale again, so I'm looking at the bottom of the image. And you see those ripples down there?
Yeah.
If those are waves, then he was up pretty high when he shot this.
Yeah, maybe like from the wind making those. That's where the water's at. Yeah, this is really great.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You know, we always know that when it comes through TWiP that we lose some of the color. So I'm hoping that the original this thing is really saturated. Yeah. You know, because there's a lot of that sort of iridescent green that's going on in there, that blue green, and I love that. Yeah, I think this has. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. And this would look good black and white too.
It would.
Yeah, because of all the shapes and tones.
Probably pump up the contrast a little bit. It is kind of
monochromatic right now. So.
Yeah, I dig.
Yeah, even in the ice sheets, like the big ice sheet on the right is slightly brighter than the other ice sheets. So there's a point of focus for light and draws your eye there and back and forth through the leading lines. Wow, this is nice. Yeah. Good job, Brian.
Dig it.
Ooh, you're going to make our job hard.
This makes me want to go get some ice and eat it from the refrigerator.
Please no.
Hey,
I got an earphones.
It's the best snack, man. Crunch and ice. All right, Brian Taylor. Thank you for that. All right, Brian submitted another one, although we can only pick one. So, but we will look at this one anyway. Remember, Brian may not know, but our rules of submission are one per customer. So, but we're going to look at this. Yeah. Brian is a new member, so I'm going to give him some slack. This was taken with his Mavic 2. Again, Door County, Wisconsin, of trees in the winter at golden hour. Again, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
See, the world from above. It's awesome.
Yeah. The ice is still the winner, so that's okay. But
I like what he did here, though, because he's playing with the shadows on the trees as part of the pattern.
Yes, and it makes it look like there's more trees, and then the intentional diagonal line in the frame is super good. Yeah.
When I first glanced at this, you know what I thought it was? I thought it was a side. No, I thought it was a cactus or cacti.
Oh yeah, I guess it could be. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I thought it was I thought he just made a black and white diagonal version of cacti. But then, cactus, I guess their spines don't grow that perfectly, right? So
they're pretty close.
Yeah.
I bought my drone so I could go out and do abstract landscape shots from the air, and I haven't done that in like 2 years.
Well, look, now it's time. TWiP Pro members are showing you up, man.
I know, because they're good.
This is nice. I love that. All right. I need to get a Mavic 2 Pro. I'm still chugging along with my Mavic, the original Mavic, which I love. I love that thing. As much as one could love an inanimate object, but I do love I said that for Chris Berry because I gave him crap about saying he loves cameras. Here's one from Stephen Scharf. And this is, I'm not sure what this is, Wimbuild 3. Let's bring this up. All right. Here we go. Abstract. What do you think? Are we abstract?
Abstract-esque. I think that with a shot like this, if there was a person in the reflection, or where the main focus was the reflection, and then we could see inside the building, that would definitely make it abstract. I'm feeling commercial-esque with this one.
Architectural.
I love all the intentional vertical lines, and it's sharp, and the contrast is there. It's super clean. It's really tight. Not feeling the heavy abstractness.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's going on in here. This is a bar. I can see the bar stools, the bar itself, and the drinks on the counter, and the alcohol back there. I know this is a place. This is a physical location. This is more of a very well executed not landscape, but architectural shot. And I would say it stands on its own, obviously, but probably more so in the context of, I know Steven does a lot of architectural and real estate photography. This probably stands with a bunch of other shots of this location, whereas this is just sort of a shot, hey, this is a view from behind the glass outside from the sidewalk of what the bar looks like. And here's another shot, and here's another shot.
Right. And there is an abstract element to this that I'm really enjoying, and it's basically the top right corner, where you've got those grid patterns, you've got like the hardware, the window that are in focus. I mean, to me, that whole scene right there would be amazing as an abstract image, because it's kind of a reflection. It's got the window hardware in there, and that would work great. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm holding my hand now. Yeah, you're right. Very cool.
There. That's what Steven saw. He just forgot to crop it.
There you go. But still good work, Stephen Scharf. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen.
All right, moving down. Next shot up is from Joshua Sommerfelt. And Joshua says, flying over an alien mountain range. And Joshua put a bunch of acronyms in here to try to make me read, which I said down here, I'm not reading all that. You should have flagged it. So I'm not going to read it because I promised not to read it. Here we go. Let's bring this guy up. All right, here we go.
Oh, geez, this is cool.
You know what? When I saw this one, I thought of Craig Colvin.
Oh yeah,
you know,
like a a body in there somewhere.
Right, because Craig Colvin would strategically place a nude body in one of those crevices.
Yeah, no, this is really nice. I mean, this could be anything. I'm gonna venture a guess that this is a palm tree. That those are the bases of the like the palm fronds, you know, when they get cut or broken off.
Wow, you see it that small, huh? See, that's weird. My brain saw it big. I saw it like, you know, I see that root thing down there, so that kind of gives it away a little bit. But I saw it as more of, you know, you're on a, you know, left coast to right coast flight, and you look down, you know, because you're trying to stay awake, and you look down, and that's what you see, and you know, so it kind of
look out when you look out your airplane window.
You look out your airplane window like Julianne Cost, right?
Yeah. No, I totally dig that. And then I would be fearful if it was that big. Is like, what is that vine thing going through there? Like, what's going on? That's the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's the transcontinental pipeline right there.
That's right.
But that's cool. Isn't that cool that like abstracts make you think, and you think up it makes your brain kind of interpolate and think up what this could be versus just automatically knowing, oh yeah, it's that, you know. But and it feeds into each of our sort of visual biases, right? Like, you know, we're both kind of into sci-fi, so we see alien planets and stargates and, you know, things like that. Somebody else would definitely see something else, which is the perfect way to view abstract. Yeah. And Josh was pandering to your love of black and white. So.
I don't think so. I think by his avatar, which is black and white, I think he appreciates the beauty of black and white on his own.
Very true. I love black and white. All right, here we go. Josh Sommerfeld, very good. Let's check in on the chat here. Tim Ingle says shot through a prism and it's glass, or shot through glass. Freddie Sedano says red and black are Targaryen colors. See, now you're nerd. You're talking about me being a nerd. Come on. If you know what a Targaryen is, then you are. Yeah. You are a nerd.
Oh man.
I gotta say.
And I'm kind of wearing a red shirt, so for the Star Trek fans, they know what that means.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Even your toast.
I don't want to be a red shirt.
Send you down to the planet's surface, never to return. Thomas Aaron is up next. Thomas Aaron says, abstract critique. I feel like saying what it is will ruin the imagination it can provoke. I'll explain what it is later in the comments if anybody wants to know, but I would like to say processed in Affinity, not because that matters more than the image, but because I'm really enjoying working with it. I agree, man. I am enjoying working in Affinity Photo too.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Look at this. See? Again, my brain is going to science fiction. I can't help
those
it.
Planets, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You're just dropping out of warp.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew that's where we were going to go with that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, how can you not? Yeah, and I'm curious as to what this really is too. But this is truly abstract. I dig it.
Oh man, yeah. See, that's hard. It's hard to tell. Whatever it is, it's something with lights on it.
You think? It's certainly not something with darks on it. So
yeah. Well, you know, it's a stretch.
Yeah.
And then very creative use of Affinity Photo. I think he used the lighting effect, the direct lighting effect on there. So yeah. I love that.
Man, I've been trying to force myself to use Affinity Photo. It's hard, and I appreciate. Affinity Photo is powerful. I mean, and for those that don't know, Affinity Photo is an app. I believe it's only on Mac OS and iOS.
No, it's both.
Is it on Windows as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a cross-platform app. Color me corrected, but it is for all intents and purposes a viable, in some ways, maybe even a superior replacement for Photoshop. Yeah. And it is amazing. The problem for me is having or being a veteran of Photoshop since version 2.0, pre-layers, right. You know, I have certain wires that are hardwired into my brain as to how I think how things work, and those are slightly different in Affinity. You know, refined in some ways, but you know, it's I got to rewire in order to be able to use the app as fluidly as I can get around in Photoshop. which is
Yep.
it's fun, but still it's challenging when you just want to resize something and you're like, Command R or Command T. How come I can't Command T? Like,
Yeah, because it's easier than that.
yeah, it's already Command T'd already. You just got to drag the corners.
T'd.
But I digress. Back to dropping out of warp and into this image.
Love it. Love it. I
Yeah.
love the little circles in the background. The composition of the planets are really great. Visually, I wish that I had some more meat in there. Because it's kind of like when we look at the one that has like the bark or, the Joshua Sommerfeld's, like there's a lot of meat in the image that we can stare at for a really long period of time. This is simple, and I love that. There's just not a lot going on in there that I like. There's nothing sharp, right? I mean, it's like my brain wants to find something that's in focus.
Yeah, good point.
But then it's abstract. So that's just my personal take. I technically I like to see something that's sharp in there.
Yeah. Yep. I hear you. I think that's all of our brands. We look for sharp and contrast and all that stuff.
Right.
All right. Very good. And this was from Thomas Aaron. Okay. Thomas Aaron, thanks you.
Thanks, Thomas.
Next up, James Glennie. James Glennie says, where the theme is something I'm very interested in doing more of, but don't do a whole lot of. Instead of digging into the archives this week, I decided to put some extra effort into creating something for it. I enjoy the process a lot. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
For doing that.
James. I mean, that's kind of our intent of the themes, right? Is to get all of us sort of out of our niche and drive us to go create something different.
Yeah. This. So inside baseball, when I look at this image, it makes me think. So I have an older brother. His name is Petey, and he's like 2 years older than me, and there was a window of time where we were Batman and Robin, literally, right?
Right.
And until he discovered girls before I did and all that. But anyway, and then we weren't. I was the annoying little brother at that point. But we used to have this saying. We had sayings for everything. Like we had sayings for things that made us feel a certain way. And something like this, we would have said it made us feel gullah gullah.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes, we had our own little language. And gullah gullah, if we looked at this, we would both look at each other and say, gullah gullah.
No, that's so funny. You got to send him a screenshot of this.
I totally will. I was like, how does it make you feel? Gullah gullah. It does, but this makes me feel gullah gullah when I look at
it. None of us can relate to that. We have no idea what that means. Does it mean you're hungry?
It freaked out kind of and kind of squirmish, kind of, it just that kind of hairs lifting up on your arms feeling. Okay. That's what gullah gullah is.
Nice.
Or maybe it's that you get the gullah gullah feeling when you like I forget what the medical term for it is, but when you see repetitive like a honeycomb or kind of a mold growing in a particular pattern, and you look at it and it makes you feel a certain way. That
makes your skin crawl.
Yeah, okay. That's gullah gullah. Skin crawling is gullah gullah. Yeah.
Wow. It's weird. This makes me hungry.
Hunger and gullah gullah don't go together, man. We cannot consume gullah gullah. Come on. Jesus. What's the matter with you?
I can't go there. I see a cracker or a piece of bread.
With mold on it. There's mold in there. Look at that. There's mold in there.
It could be.
It could be a moon, though. This could be a moon. This could be Io riddled with asteroid strikes or something.
But I think it's a cracker. I don't know. That's what I think.
Disgusting.
I do appreciate that compositionally it's square, which I think that's really good well done. It's the outside edges are burned down a little bit, so it draws us into the center. So it's making my brain happy. There's little nuggets around that I need to look into. I do wish that it was completely sharp all the way through, though. The top left corner inside that cavern is not sharp, so I wish it was.
That gives away the scale a little bit.
Yeah. So James, if you're not doing focus stacking, this would have been perfect for a focus stack shot. it would only have taken maybe 3 images to do that. Because when you get in really close to something, I'm assuming this is really close. You didn't shoot this from your TARDIS or anything. That you just need a couple images. You're a lot of shallow depth of field. So
yeah, but nice. He definitely fits in abstract. And thanks for James. Thanks for shooting this specifically for the critique. That's awesome.
Yeah. See, I'm not the only one. I read the comments. So Armando thought it looked like bread, and Michael DeRay said it looked like fried cheese. So I'm not so far off.
Yeah, but I don't know what you guys are eating. Remind me not to go to dinner with you guys. I'm just saying. All right, here's one from you, Troy Miller, Abstract Digital Rainbow. Look at this. Oh, this is cool. Talk about abstract, man.
Yeah.
This reminds me of something from Kai's Power. Remember Kai's Power Tools?
I do. Oh,
yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Kai's Power Tools. They made an application called Bryce. They used to do, let you create landscapes and a bunch of crazy plugins with the weird skeuomorphic user interfaces. And this definitely takes me back there. This is really cool.
Yeah.
I want to know what it is. Now, since you're live right now, you don't have to put it in the comments. What is this?
It's a CD that I burned. I melted the CD with a torch.
What?
Yeah, so the surface of a CD, when it melts, it bows and bends, and then all the light that travels through it, it fractures and turns into rainbows. And then just serendipitously, I happened to get these bubbles in the surface of the disc.
Nice.
So, yeah, and this is a very, very, very small piece. This is maybe, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch across.
Wow, this is cool.
Yeah,
well, what was the CD? Was it music of like R. Kelly, and you're trying to get rid of it?
No, it would have been more clever if I had actually melted somebody's music CD that I wanted to make a statement with, but it's not. I got a stack of CDs that are useless now, so I just melted them. I want to see what they look like melted.
Man, that's cool. And that's what
They
you do.
Smell bad when you melt them, by the way.
I bet. Well, I want to encourage people to check out your work that you do with Fire and Flame at spicyjello.com, because there's some pretty crazy stuff over there, and you abstract is right up your alley. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and I've got to dig out of the archives. I have stuff I've never even shown anybody, so I need to dig them out.
Yeah, man, come on. If a tree falls in the forest. Abstract Digital Rainbow from Troy Miller. All right, next shot up is from Lei Tang. Lei is a brand new member. Welcome, Lei.
Yeah, welcome.
And Lei says, first post, is abstract still the current topic? Yes. Learning my way around. Let's take a look at this. And I'm not reading specs out, but I do want to flag that he shot this with a Micro Four Thirds camera. So. All right, there we go. Look at that. I dig this. This is really cool. This is really cool. I mean, we know what it is. I mean, do we know what it is? Like my first thought would be this is a building, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a building. It could be something else, right? What do you think?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be a building. It could be a number of things. I mean, I think it's a good guess that it is a building. But that's what's so cool about it. What I really appreciate with this image is the intention to composition. You got that little tiny triangle dead center at the bottom, leading lines up the right sides, right up through. I think that's fantastic. It's got great balance and symmetry, which just makes our brain so happy.
Yeah. And this says a lot about Lei's personality. And we haven't met yet. Hopefully we will one day. But this screams meticulous and detail oriented to me. Right.
My only nitpick on this image is to burn in the top left corner to match the darkness of the top right corner, because that would give it that little extra bit of symmetry. Everything else is almost the same as we come down, even though the left side on the bottom is a little brighter. That's okay. But at those top left corners, the bright top left kind of draws me out of the frame a bit. And I think burning that down could make this even stronger. But good job. I dig it. I love this stuff.
Yeah, this is cool. Very nice. Very nice work, Lei, and thank you. Welcome.
I can't wait to shoot abstract when we get to Moab.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Craig Stampley's up next. Bird's eye view.
Yes.
All right, let's bring this up. All right. Yeah, I'm this one I love this shot. You know what this makes me think of? You know, I forget what the technique is, but in some Japanese art where they paint those really intricate, you know, sort of repeating wave patterns.
Oh yeah.
The upper right makes me think of that. Actually, the whole thing minus the surfer make me think of that art, especially if this was black and white, high contrast, or even converted to line art almost. It would sort of fit in there. But as it is, I dig it. I'm guessing he had a really big tripod when he shot this one.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is great. I'm you know, for the abstract category, I'm struggling with the surfer because I like the waves and I like the texture and the color of the water and stuff so much. But then again, you know, adding that surfer, I think we have two images in here though. We have the lower half with or without the surfer, and then we have the upper half with or without the surfer. I think it needs to be trimmed in there somewhere.
Yeah. No,
you see what I mean? It's like
and there's a third image, just no surfer period and the whole thing together.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a good story for abstract. I love this. It's got like the best ocean color there. I love
it is. But speaking of color, we talk a lot about black and white conversions. If he was to remove that surfer from this, do the colors add to the image? In other words, would this be more strong or more powerful an image in black and white?
I think the colors do add. I think that if you take you're going to have two images. If you pull the color out, you're going to see the foam of the waves a lot more, because that's going to be the graphical element. But by leaving the color in, it's going to draw your eye to realize, oh, this is water. So, what story do you want to tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's going to be better one way or the other. I think it's going to tell a different story. So what story do you want to tell?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, especially if it's abstract. There is no such thing as better.
Right. And definitely burn in that top left corner, like put a linear gradient in there or something, because it's very hot.
It's drawing you over there.
Yeah, drawing us out of the frame. We want to keep us in the frame.
Mm-hmm. All right, Craig Stampley. Thank you for that, sir. All right, Mark Harris is up next. And Mark says, after obsessing over what to submit to the abstract theme, I decided on this photograph. Since this was created specifically to be an abstract, I won't add any other descriptive information for now. Look at that.
Yeah, his I'm assuming that's one of his bodyscapes.
Yep.
But being a bodyscape, it's very hard to tell, you know, where and what and how and the position and so that's
which is the point, right? That's the whole point the point of abstract and doing an abstract of a bodyscape is to make your brain think, like, where is this an arm? You know, my guess is an arm. You know, outstretched.
I'm thinking abs. I'm thinking those are abs.
No, it's gotta be. Well, now I'm thinking that. See?
Yeah. Well, but that's.
I had it as an arm, and now you messed me up. So.
Yeah, that's the beauty of abstract, though, is that it's going to be kind of whatever your brain tells you it is. I love the composition. I got to say, it's very. I like the negative space at the top, and I'm normally one to like get rid of something that doesn't add to the frame, like any negative space. It doesn't tell a bigger story, but in this case it does, and that's kind of a deviation from the basic rule. But I do like it's on lower thirds. It's not splitting it, you know, 50-50. Very well done. Yeah, this series of marks is amazing.
Yeah, this is clean. Reminds me of work by a French photographer called Jean-Luc Sif. He does these kind of bodyscape abstract shots, which is just, you know, normally on black like this. So it almost cheats and forces you to spend more time on his images than others because, you know, the nature of abstract is you try to figure it out. So
right.
This one accomplishes that handily.
Yep.
All right, Mark Harris. Thank you, sir. This is going to be hard to pick a winner. I'm just saying.
I think it'll be easy.
Oh, really? Oh. We're not picking the abstract digital rainbow.
Oh, come on.
All right, Michael Duray is up. Michael says, "Watchful Sea, a watchful sea, great theme this week. I love being challenged." Yes, thank you. All right, here we go. Abstract. That's crazy. This is art. I mean, this is full on art. I love this.
Yeah. This is, I think that for me, I wish it was cropped in a little bit tighter, so we were just on the object itself, the shell itself, without seeing the outside edge. I don't think I need to see the outside edge. But with that said, as it is, I really like it. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, no, I do too. Like I said, this feels like art or an illustration. But is it abstract enough to fit into the abstract category?
I think it is. I think it's definitely abstract enough. It's not, it's not like laying on the ocean, with a wave coming up at it. I mean, this is definitely, flattened, and I like the fact that the eye is there and the way that the treatment has been done around the background and stuff. So
yep, I agree.
Yeah, I would nitpick just a tad there, Michael. On the bottom of the image, I can see some of the cloning, for the background. You can see at the very, very bottom there.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't distract from the image, but it's just a little bit of Photoshop touching there. But I love everything else. This is great.
Yeah, that eye staring at me.
This might be better in black and white, you think?
I don't know. I was thinking about that, but I like the color. I like, the color palette of this, I think adds to it. I think it's subjective, right? It could be either or. But I like if I'm looking at this and it's framed in, someone's pastel colored living room environment or office environment, this would fit right in, and it would fit in better with this color palette versus, just shades of gray, I think.
Right. The only reason I bring that up is it reminds me of the Edward Weston's, what is it, like the conch shell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when the shell aspect of it, there's so many tones going on in there. Very nice image, Michael.
Yeah. Nicely done. All right. Next up, coming in for the finish here, Candy Shively. This is our final abstract shot. She says, "Abstract, yes, I love abstract. There's actually a long story associated with this that I don't want to bore you with, or that I won't bore you with. I call this Memory of Morning." Interesting. Intriguing. Definitely abstract. Do you see that 17 in there?
The 17. Oh, do I see the 17? Oh, I do. Oh, I do now. No, you know what I was trying to figure out what it was. It looked like you're looking through a patio door, and there's a balcony, and there's a city out there, and like there's a, light coming in from the top corner, and so I feel like I'm in a room, and then now seeing the number, that makes me wonder. I love that, man. That's a strong abstract. Now I want to know the story.
I'm gonna guess. Right? I think she mention in the community that she was recently on a cruise. So. Oh. Right? So I'm thinking this might have been from her cabin on the cruise. And knowing pricing of cabins, she was in a very expensive cabin if it has a deck like this. So if this is that, and then, it's looking out over the ocean, and that's a flag or something with a 17 on it, or some sort of, nautical marker or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Now we're dissecting the image.
I know, which is the point of abstract, right?
Yeah. But I love it because I feel like I'm in a room.
Yeah.
Right. So in this abstract, I feel like I'm in a room. I feel like I'm in somewhere looking out, which, the title works really well for me because I can imagine, you're waking up and you're laying in bed and you look out your apartment or your condo or, your cabin on the sea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I like it. I like the color palette too. It's very nice.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. Those warm tones. And I like how the center swath has a slightly different and warmer tone to it to separate it from the rest. I think that's really nice.
Yep. Very cool. All right. Candy, thank you for that. And I think we're at the end. That's it. Okay, now we got to pick a winner, man. We have to pick a winner. Let me bring up our little thumbnails on screen here. Here we go. All right. I have my winner. You tell me what. Yeah, do you have yours?
I do. I do have mine. It's right there. It's right there in the middle.
Armando?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. See, mine was between Armando and Laura. So let me bring up Armando's again. So, and I for different reasons. I love this one because this is a true sort of example of abstract. Right. This was a real image that then was just he broke it down into its color components, but then left a fair amount of detail in there just to break it up, so it just wasn't streaks. So it's not right. So because you could have just done streaks and it would have just been lazy and blah blah whatever,
right.
You know. But he didn't, and it has an organic nature to it as well as just a very graphical nature to it. Plus, I love the color palette. When I look at it, it makes me think ocean at magic hour, right? So that's
exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I think of this one. And then when I look at the Laura Patton one, all of them are good, by the way. You've got to pick. You got to pick a kid. So you got to pick a favorite kid. But this one, I mean, just the fact that she worked the optics of the camera, the previous one was done in post, obviously, but this one, the photographer worked the optics of the camera on purpose to create an abstract shot of an object or a subject that you would normally know what it is. I mean, fireworks are some of the most photographed things on the planet, right? And so it's hard to do something different with a firework, and she succeeded. And when you look at this, you're like if we didn't know what it was, we'd be thinking like, what? Wait, what?
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's definitely abstract as well. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so my favorite aspect of Armando's are the layers. We've got those beautiful horizontal streaks, but it's the layers of color that really just draw me in. And it's one of those kind of things that you could just look at forever. Mm-hmm. And the top is more of that sort of cyan, not cyan, more of the magenta color, and then you got that heavy blue, and in the bottom they've sort of melded together. You've got that purple. Mm-hmm. So I dig that. To me, that is just stunning. Yeah. Well, I mean, everything is amazing. I mean, to be fair, we've got a lot of amazing images, but this is the one that stuck out to me.
Yeah. I think.
I could go either way. I'm not.
Are we here again? Are we at a stalemate again? Again, a stalemate. Jeez. This happened for folks that haven't seen our critiques before. This happened once before where Troy and I couldn't agree on a winner, so we put it out to the community. I think. Do we have to do that again? What do you think?
I think that would be good. I think that would be fun to do.
Yeah,
I think it would be great. Yeah,
I agree. I think so. We will put this out to the community. The blog post on This Week in Photo for this week's critique will be up later today. But these images obviously are in TWiP Pro. So if you're a TWiP Pro member, go in and heart the one that you heart the most. And we will announce that winner on next week's show, which, by the way, the topic is sports. So sports. Yeah. So very cool. Lots of cool stuff. Man, the quality of work continues to rise in TWiP Pro, right, Troy?
I know. Now my brain's all in abstract now. Now I want to go edit some of my my digital rainbow series. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to publish, I think it's either this week or next week, I'm publishing an interview I did with Julianne Cost about her Color of Place project and some other things we talked about, which were really interesting. Specifically, she had some really good ideas and just sort of perspective on personal projects versus bodies of work and the difference between the two. So
right. Yeah, very important stuff to do. Very important.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I say we end this one. We're at just about the hour mark. I think we made it. Success.
It's good.
For the live stream. And we live streamed this entire
time. We're getting good at this.
Yeah, and I got to say, we cheated a little because we've done, what is this? Number 58. So we've done 57 of these that weren't streamed. 58 and hopefully beyond will be live streamed as well as made available on demand like the other ones. Right. But it's not like this is new. It's just I clicked a different button. So
it's new.
It's a little new. It's a little new. I still got to work out that comment thing. Let me take a look at the comments and see if any came in during our ranting. Yes, thank you, Freddie. See, Freddie knew what that creature was. He says from Return of the Jedi, and it's called a Sarlacc.
Yeah. Freddie to the rescue.
Thank you, Freddie. Let me bring the Sarlacc back up on screen here. Where's Sarlacc? Where'd you go? Oh, no, right, it's way up here. No, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
There is Sarlacc.
Freddie Sarlacc.
Yep, that's when C-3PO said, Luke has been banished to digest over 1,000 years in the belly of the Sarlacc. That's my C-3PO accent.
That was terrible. That's very bad.
Hey, I never said I had a good C-3PO accent or impression. All right, man. We're at the end. Any parting shots, parting thoughts to leave with the folks before we close this live stream down?
So many. I mean, we have so many projects going on. You and I are working on some Capture One stuff. We're building a course and some styles that I think the styles are out in your store now.
Yeah, the styles are out.
I'm working on F-64. I'm still shooting weddings.
Still? Really? People are still getting married. People are still. You need to add a divorce package to your lineup. Just go full circle, you know.
No, everybody says that, but you know what? I got the best couples. My couples are the best.
So if you photograph the wedding, your couples tend to stick. They stay together.
They do. I'm not going to say it's because I was there, but you know.
People can't prove otherwise, right?
It's Margie's cookies. It's because of the cookies.
Oh, those cookies are amazing. Your wife makes some ridiculously amazing cookies. So
yes,
Margie, if you're watching this, those cookies. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Yeah,
we love the cookies.
Yeah, you know, we could make those a winner's reward for somebody that's in the States that we could actually get them to.
Yes. Without having to go through customs and all that. So, yeah. Sending cookie, I don't know. Can you even send food through customs? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, yes, you can. Maybe you can, because didn't we get food from Craig Stampley?
We got snacks. They
were all wrapped. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't think the cookies would be good by the time they were in post for a week and a half or 2 weeks going to Australia.
So you can make it happen. Just put some dry ice in there, pack them up, some little absorbent packs in there. You're good to go.
We can try it.
Why not? Yeah. Well, cool, man. I think we're at the end. We'll say goodbye to folks that are watching this. Remember, if you want to join the TWiP PRO community to submit your images in, you can just go over to TWiPPro.com and sign up. And we'd love to have you in there. Also, this and all of our other critiques are available on thisweekinphoto.com. Just click on the critique button in the menu, and you will see the previous critiques that we've done, including this one, once it's published a little bit later today. Or you can just see all the stuff on our YouTube channel. There's a playlist for all of our critiques, etc. So everything is everywhere. It's all up there. It's all up there. It is all up there. All right, man. I'll let you get on with your Monday, and I'll see you next time.
Awesome. All right. Thanks.
Peace.
We made it.
So let's close this down, and we will end the stream just like this. This is TWiP.